Everyone else is so repetitious. Their motivation is so suspicious.
Guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're going to be filming a little twin Q&A for you guys. We had a realization recently that a lot of our videos are separate and we're a twin channel, so that doesn't make any sense.
We decided that this year we're going to try to make more videos together. I feel like we used to make more. We used to make like one a week, but
Yeah.
I feel like when college started, we just weren't together as often, kind of fell out of it. So
Yeah.
we're going to get back into that, hopefully.
So instead we're going to make it a priority to film together instead of like film separate. So like hopefully once a week you'll for sure see a video with the two of us. Trying to better our content for 2019.
Yeah.
We also want to engage with you guys more, so that's why we decided to do a Q&A for our first video of 2019.
Yeah, like not to be lazy and do a Q&A or anything, it's just we haven't done one of these in a while. We haven't done a twin Q&A type of video literally since middle school in 8th grade, and we're
We've
sophomores in
gotten a lot of
college now.
subscribers since then.
So if you want to participate in these kinds of like Q&A type videos, make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's the only place I really ever ask for questions.
Same. And by the way, I'm really sick right now. Starting tomorrow will be the 3-month anniversary of me being sick off and on. So if I sound dead, seem dead, any of that, it's because I'm dying. So
Yeah.
just in case anyone is curious, which you're probably not, I'm on my 4th round of antibiotics for a sinus infection. We'll see if it's cured after this round. Better be. Let's just get into the video though, because there's a lot of questions and we want to try to answer as many as possible.
So the first one that I feel like is the most important to start this off is the differences between us. The main one that people kind of go off of is that my face is a little more round. That's what a lot of people normally tell us.
Yeah, it's usually our face shapes, or it's something like our eyebrows. I just feel like it's a bunch of small things added together that make us look different.
So then someone asked, are you guys the same shoe size? Which I found interesting because the person who asked is also a twin. So now I'm curious if they have different shoe sizes, but we have similar shoe sizes. I'd say mine are like a tiny bit smaller, like slightly though, like not a huge difference. It's
I'd
not
say
noticeable.
she usually goes down half a size, but I honestly think that's for comfort reasons, not actually because she has smaller feet. Also, going with that, I feel like height is kind of related to shoe size, just proportions and whatnot. But basically she's a 1/4 of an inch taller than me, if anyone is curious about that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little more noticeable than our feet though. Not that people stare at our feet. People will usually be like, are you taller? So I guess like having to do with appearance, someone asked if our friends ever mix us up, and not really.
No.
Most people, like after a week of like being our friend or hanging out with us, will normally actually say something to us like, wow, I can't believe I used to not be able to tell you guys apart. You look so different. Like,
I
don't
think
know.
the real issue for most people at least is they have trouble remembering which name goes with which face. At least that's my problem with
I have that
twins.
problem with twins. So.
Yeah, just because we're twins doesn't mean we're good at telling other twins apart. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But also, like, if you don't know us well, we're definitely not gonna be like, oh my god, they can't tell the difference, because like I get it.
Like I respond to Emma's name. I guess kind of going with that, someone asked if any of our boyfriends have ever mixed us up, and yes.
Well, okay, I wouldn't necessarily say mix us up. They just took preventative measures so they wouldn't. But by the way, you would not know this person. This is not like a long-term
This was
person.
someone like freshman year of high school. Like it was kind of like the most awkward relationship ever, and I don't know if I really count it as like a boyfriend, you know? I don't blame him for not really knowing the exact difference, but it's still like, dude.
Yeah, basically he would Snapchat her every morning to see what she was wearing, just to make sure he knew who was who. It worked, I guess, but clearly didn't work out, so.
Yeah, no, that did not work out.
Next question is, do y'all have the same personality types? I don't know. I definitely think we're different, but we're like similar.
We're definitely more similar than different.
I can't think of words to describe how we're different, but like if you meet us, I feel like we have different like quirks, if that makes sense.
I'm actually curious if anyone who's watching this knows us, like if you just want to comment something down below.
Or if you've been watching us for a while and feel like you can see like a difference in the way we communicate or act, then like
yeah, I'm kind of curious what other people's viewpoints on that would be.
The next question is, do you guys feel similar emotions in certain situations?
I'd say yes. I feel like just because of the way we were raised, and I feel like every sibling kind of gets raised to have similar like viewpoints and that type of stuff.
But I wouldn't necessarily say it's because we're twins. I would just say it's because we're
around each other a lot.
Well, we're also exposed to very similar situations all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah. So next is a question from someone we work with. Hi, Sasha.
Are you watching this while you're driving home? That's
Yeah.
what she says. She always says so.
But she asked, what's your zodiac? And what's Emma's? This is kind of an inside joke. So basically, like a little over a year ago, someone we work with, I was on break with her and we were just like talking about how me and Emma are twins, and she was like asking for differences and stuff just to like tell us apart, and proceeded to ask like what my zodiac sign was, and I answered, and then asked what Emma's was right after that, and I was like, she literally was acknowledging that we were twins and then asked different, like, I don't know.
She thought we were different zodiac signs. And she was explaining how she was like into them. Like she's passionate about it.
But I guess to answer that question, I feel like a lot of people get tripped out by this. Don't judge us, because I know a lot of people, when they hear zodiac signs, start to judge people a lot more. I just want to say our zodiac sign doesn't represent us as a person. We're more than just a Gemini.
Yeah, we're Geminis.
Yeah.
Well, every comments below.
Yeah.
But we're
know.
twins, which is the sign for a Gemini.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, at least this is what other people have said to me.
Yeah, literally so many
the
people
two
say
different
this.
faces. So like I'm one face and she's another. So it doesn't mean like we are each two-faced.
Yeah, because the
we're just, like, two
stereotype is
different-
that Geminis are two-faced.
Yeah,
But
if you didn't know that.
so we are both Geminis, but our moon sign is the same, but our ascendant rising sign is actually different. We're
Also, fun fact going with that, we were born 50 minutes apart, like 5-0,
Yeah.
so that's why they're
I got
different.
stuck.
Yeah, she was stuck. Her ascending, whatever the hell it is a Leo, and mine is a Cancer.
And our moon sign is both Libra, so
Yeah.
she's a
Just
Cancer.
in case you're wondering, but I don't really know how like passionate I should feel about that,
I don't
because
know.
most people tell us we don't act like Geminis, so I don't know.
Yeah. Someone asked, do people say one of you is the pretty one or the smart one? Well, not to our face. I mean,
Yeah.
actually the smart one, feel like this is kind of more of a joke. Like, I'll just like joke about it sometimes because I have ADHD, which is a learning disability, and I just have always kind of struggled and fell a little bit behind her, but not like super drastically.
Pretty similar. I've just always been like better about studying than she has, I guess.
And then as for the pretty one, no one has ever like said that to our face,
Yeah.
but honestly, if anyone did, I'd probably get defensive over it because I don't find that like as a compliment.
Yeah, no.
And second of all, if people do say that behind our back, just know that is so fucked up. Like,
Yeah, that's really messed up. This next question is, what do you guys do when you're mad at each other?
kind of escalates. It usually starts as like something really stupid, like our driving. We'll
Yeah.
yell at each other over that, and then getting defensive, and then screaming at each other.
There's kind of a cycle. We get mad, we ignore each other, and then we pretend it never happened. Next question is, what's a common misconception about being a twin?
Oh, you're the same person, and I
Yeah.
do not agree with that. I actually find that really annoying when people
And
think
when
that.
we say that, we mean people think that if I feel passionately about one way, that means she feels the same way, which is like never true, or most of the time it's not true.
Some people will think that just since we're like always together or something, that means like you're never lonely, like you always have someone to hang out with, which I kind of disagree with. I feel like when you're around the same exact person that you're so similar to 24/7, it's kind of just like the same as being alone. Like if we were to sit in our apartment all day together, I would feel the exact same way, I feel like, as a normal person would if they were alone all day. Because it's like there's no catching up or anything to do when you're with someone all the time.
This question gets asked a lot. Was it weird not sharing a dorm room last year? And a lot of people are surprised to hear that we didn't when they asked that.
I don't think it was weird. I feel like it was the correct decision for us. I feel like we would have gone insane in the same exact room together.
We were in the same building, just in different wings of it, so if we needed to
We
be
were
around
still
each other,
close.
it was like easy. This is a very popular question we got.
People ask it all
And
the time.
it's, can you both read each other's minds or anything like that? And
Yes.
obviously.
Obviously, every twin does. Like,
Yeah.
so this next one is kind of interesting. Someone asked, does your family have a history of having twins, or were you a surprise?
If you didn't know, little fun fact, identical twins are not genetic at all.
Only fraternal twins are.
Yeah, really, the only way of having those is if you're super lucky or if you're doing fertility treatments.
Yeah, so that's why they're more rare than fraternal twins.
Yeah, and then fraternal twins, those are genetic. So
Yeah.
we're identical, so we were a surprise, obviously. My mom didn't do any fertility treatments.
Another little interesting thing is on my mom's side of the family, there's actually like 2 sets of twins, but
Yeah.
they're fraternal.
So we're not genetic. We were just a rare surprise, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for the last one that we're gonna do is what was our parents' reactions to when they found out we were having twins.
And this is something, well, we asked our dad already, so we'll insert that clip. But
We had a couple of miscarriages, and your mom was devastated. She couldn't function, basically. And I'm just like, don't worry, we just keep on trying. She's like, no. Then she leaves for training and calls me one morning.
She's in the military, by the way, if you don't know.
Your mom goes to training. I'm just basically living life at home with no kids. Asleep in bed one morning, she calls and she's bawling her brains out. And I'm like, oh great, she had another miscarriage. And she's like, yeah, I went to the doctor on the base today about my pregnancy. And she's crying, and I'm like, oh great. And then she's like, and they're twins. So she found out, and I was just like in shock. You know Uncle Mike?
Yeah.
When he found out, he's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And I'm like,
why?
What are you talking about? And he's like, well, you lost 2 souls in the miscarriages, and you got 2 souls back in one pregnancy.
That's creepy.
It was an incredibly nice way to look at things.
That's sad but
I
happy.
didn't even know that my mom actually just got home.
Mom! We need to ask you a question for our video.
People want to know what your reaction was when you found out you were having twins.
She was so sad about it.
I was down in Biloxi, your favorite.
Oh, that's where you were?
Yeah.
You didn't say where you were, you said.
Yeah, I was at Keesler Air Force Base.
That's
for
where we
school.
started our channel, actually, when we were in vlog. We
Oh my god!
Wait,
we
she
just had
found
a
out
moment. Obviously by myself. I mean, Dad was home, and I had been there for probably 2 weeks, and then I found out like literally 2 days before I was leaving that I was pregnant. So this was a 12-week school that I had to go to. Before that pregnancy, I had 2 miscarriages.
Yeah.
Right. First one was pretty late in the pregnancy, so it was really traumatic. The second one, although it was upsetting, it wasn't. It was early, so but it was like 2 back to back, and so at some point you're like, God, I'm broken. I'm not gonna be able to have kids, and it's terrifying. So then when I found out I was pregnant again, I was like, oh my God, you just want to bubble wrap yourself and just sit really still so that you don't like break anything. God, I think I was probably there for a couple of weeks. That's the thing about being pregnant is like things that can be totally normal that you feel can be totally abnormal. Like lower back is aching and you're cramping and just kind of weird things that you're like, is it normal? Is it not normal? And so I decided one morning, I woke up. I think I had to be in class by 6 in the morning. And I got up and I went to class, and I was just like, I was kind of a wreck. And I had made a friend there who was also, as it turned out, pregnant too. I decided I just couldn't stand it. And at this point, I would have been like 11 or 12 weeks pregnant. And that was like right around the time I'd had the miscarriage the last time. And so I was like, screw it, I'm going to the hospital. And so they took me upstairs to the OB section, and I kept having to retell my story, like I'm pregnant and I've had a couple of miscarriages and I'm feeling really weird and I don't know what's going on. And so they were super nice and were like, well, you know what, let's just take you back and see what we can see. That early in your pregnancy, you can't do the standard over the belly ultrasound. So wait for it. Is this PG?
Does it go up your butthole?
Yeah, because you poop a baby out. And so I'm just laying there and I can see something moving, and I'm like, instantly, like at that point you're so tiny, there's no real like baby formation, right? You just
It's a little cell blob.
but there's a heartbeat at that point.
Yeah.
And so you can see, and I'm like watching it and I'm going, okay, that's gotta be a heartbeat, and I'm instantly feeling relieved, like, but they're being really quiet. And so finally she goes, well, good news, see right here? And I'm like, yeah, like, oh my God, what is she gonna say? She's like, there's a heartbeat. And I'm like, just, so you start bawling, you're like so relieved, like, oh my God, okay. She goes, and if you look right here, there's another heartbeat. Oh my God, it's still like making me cry just thinking about it. And so I just laid there and I cried for like 5 minutes, like, oh my God.
Now I'm gonna cry! This is what turtlenecks are meant for.
And so everybody like literally was cheering, and it turned out the doctor, the OB that was doing the exam, is a twin herself. And so she was super excited. So I went down to find a phone and I called your dad, and remember I'm 2 hours ahead there, so it was still early. Called him, I'm like, I'm in the hospital, and I couldn't get it out, and he's just like, oh my God, what's wrong? And he thought I had had another miscarriage. And I don't know exactly specifically what I said, but something like, there's 2 babies in there. Anyway, so he was just like, what? And leaps out of bed and freaked out. And so we were both, of course, completely and totally like in shock and excited. And then like after a few hours when it wore off, and then it was like instantly, I was just in complete and total terror mode. Like, oh my god, what if I lose one of them? What if I have another? Yeah, whatever. I had absolutely zero problems ever. Like, you guys grew, and it was all normal as a twin pregnancy can be.
Anyways, that's all for the video. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, that's all. Bye!